but that takes time. So now I'm channeling the manager that might be listening right now, and she or he saying, Tania, I don't have a lot of time in my workday. How much time do I need to spend sitting down with the direct report and say, tell me kind of your life story, or tell me about your background or experiences, or how do I unpack that? So are there any practical ways that a manager might be able to, or he might be able to start that conversation?
So some of these conversations aren't necessarily taking place in structured ways. People have lots of different conversations in the workplace, the water cooler conversations, So what does the water cooler conversation look like? And can we use those as an opportunity to connect a little bit more with people? So someone says, oh, this weekend I went I went on this trip to go see this historic site. And you say, oh, tell me a little bit about what's the meaning behind that for you, like what's what drew you to want to do that. So finding ways of sort of getting more deeply into the meaning that things have for people. And somebody like right now, there's so much opportunity to talk about what this country means to us and what we value about it. And we can do that in ways that aren't necessarily partisan. Someone could say, oh, I went to a national park over the summer. And you say, oh, like, that's so interesting. I know one of the things I love about our country is that we do have this national park system. I'm curious about, like, what's that like for you? So as we're talking about things, they can be connected to sort of our views and our values about politics, but they're not specifically political conversations necessarily. And the more we have that foundation, the less a specific political conflict is going to create a rupture.
I like your kind of guidance on basically, what I wrote down was looking for those moments to be curious.
Absolutely.
And just looking for those moments, look and just be curious and be open and just ask some questions about, tell me about the meaning behind that. And I also like, you did it very subtly, but it was important. You took a positive spin on all this. You didn't say, well, tell me why you hate this country. You didn't say that. You said, tell me about positive things about, what is it about this country that means something positive to you, or why did you like doing that? So you took a positive angle to it, which again generates a little more positive emotions, which hopefully sends us down some positive connecting conversations. Right. Tania, this has been great. So I want to, again, do another beautiful shout out to your book, Beyond Your Bubble. So is there anything, I want folks to purchase the book, so I definitely don't want to spoil it. It's beautifully written. Is there anything in here that we haven't talked about today that we should have? Is there anything else you'd want to add for our conversation?
So the only other thing that we didn't talk about so much is there's a chapter on managing emotions. And this is definitely one of the things that I see come up for people, and even sort of prevent them from entering into dialogue is concern about their own emotional response to what's going on, and concerns about other people's emotional responses and what that's going to be like. And so the thing I'll say is that we have ways that we can actually work with that we can work with our emotions so that we can stay in those conversations when we want to. And that's not to say that we always need to keep a lid on our emotions. So sometimes you need to vent and you need to get support. You might want to go then to someone who might already agree with you and is going to be most likely to support you. You're not necessarily going to want to do that in a conversation with somebody where you're trying to connect across the divide. So some of it's being intentional about how you do things, but also knowing what are some of those tools that are going to help us to regain our equilibrium when we want to.